This is Carl at National RV Detroit. I'm going to walk you through this 2022 No Boundaries, No-Bow, model number NB 19.6. So it's a 19.6. This is not a floor plan video, it's a how-to video, so I'm just going to show you some of the features and how they work, okay? This has got regular scissor type stabilizers. You have a water port here. I'm not sure what he's got going here, but I'll make sure that gets on there correctly. I'll set it aside for now. But this is for a sprayer that plugs into that. You have power awning with LED strip. Power. Your water heater is here. So the thing to remember is this works on both gas and electric, There's an electric heating element that's behind this cover, and it's controlled by this switch right here. Okay. Never run the water heater without water in the water heater tank. If you run it without water, you'll damage it. So even if you drain it, just make sure you refill it before you turn it on. This is your gas valve here, the switch to control it's inside. This is your drain plug right here. So it takes an 1 1/16 6-point socket to drain it and put the plug back in. Also never work on it, never drain it or anything like that while the water's hot. Always let it cool down first, okay? I'll show you the switch for the gas when we get inside. Alrighty. So, this is a grill rail or griddle rail. The griddle is right in there. You can see it's got a rack there, plus it got the griddle itself, plus a hose, an LP line, that's a quick connect line to plug it into the system, and you also get a metal table with it, okay? You connect the LP to the system right here, so you know. Like I said, it hangs right on the rail there. Now right here, this is the vent for the range hood. So if you're going to run the fan in the range hood to vent to the outside, you always got to remember you got to reach up and free this up here so it flaps freely. Otherwise you can keep it shut, right? But always make sure if you're venting to the outside you want to open that baffle so it flaps freely. Okay, so you're getting a hitch with this. This is a Husky centerline weight distribution hitch with built-in sway control. So we'll show you how that operates when you pick up. You have a deep cycle marine battery, LP tank.
Well,
you have a power tongue jack here. And this is of course the kill switch for your battery. You can actually shut the battery off. Now, let me come over this way. This crank right here, the small one, is for the power tongue jack. If this happens to fail for any reason, you can pull this plug out, put that crank on there, and you can crank it manually. This is your power cord, your shore cord right here. This is your sprayer, and then right here, this is your 3/4 inch crank for your stabilizers, and that's your dump hose right there. Okay. So. These are the two ways to get water to the trailer. The most common way is the city water hookup. So you're just going to hook your hose on there, turn it on, and you're going to have water to the trailer. Now if you're camping someplace without city water, you're boondocking or whatever, you can pre-fill your fresh water tank right here and then use the onboard pump to pump the water. I'll show you where the switch is for the pump when we get inside, okay? Your slide room is commonly referred to as a Schwintek. Even though it's owned by a company named Lippert now, people still refer to it as a Schwintek. So if you use that term, they'll know what you're talking about, just in case you need to know that. This is just our shop cord plugged in, but that's where your power cord that I just showed you plugs into. Now you have your valves here. So you've got black and gray valves. Black for the black tank, which is toilet water and waste. Gray is for the sink and shower water. Now right here, this is a black tank flush. So after you dump your black tank, you leave the valve open, like it states on this sticker here. Leave the valve open, hook the hose on there, turn it on, and you can spray out your black tank. You can clean off all the sensors really well and just flush it out, okay? So that's a good feature. And this is just cable and satellite through to the interior of the trailer. You get a ladder with it, which is great because it makes it easy to inspect the roof. The manufacturer states every 60 days you should inspect the roof. You're looking for cracking or separation at any of the sealant points where water could get in. You look for that. You look at the let's say the roofing material and roofing attachments. Make sure that there's no damage done to them by low branches or road debris. You just give it an inspection. Odds are you won't have to do anything for years, but you can't see it from the ground, so you have to go up and take a look. It should be part of your regular maintenance, okay? This housing tells us it's pre-wired for a Furrion backup camera kit if you ever want to add that. Okay? Alright, so let's go inside. Okay, that's your furnace right there. Your LP furnace. Okay, so here you have your power awning right here. First of all, let me get the switches on here. I'm sorry. There we go. So you have your power awning right there. Very simple. Never leave it out. Never leave it out unattended. If you're not going to be at the campsite, make sure you roll it in. Your slide room is right here. Okay. And these are just lights here. Okay. Now, when you come around, this is your range hood that we talked about. You got a fan. Remember, if you're going to run the fan, open the baffle on the outside. You have a light here. You have your burner. So you have to light that with a grill lighter. All right, you have your microwave, but it's a convection microwave. Okay. Below it is your vacuum. Now the vacuum doesn't come with attachments. You can get them, but it doesn't come with them. The thing is, the idea is you sweep the dirt right here, and you turn it on. Actually, you turn it on this way, and it'll suck the dirt right in. So you just sweep it over there. Okay. Now, let me get on my feet here. I'm not seeing the keys yet. I'll go and make sure that he's pulled the keys. This is part of your rack on the roof. Now there's on the roof you have obviously you have your solar panel, but you also have a kayak rack to put kayaks up there. Okay. All right. This is the remote for your TV. Now the TV is not just a TV. It actually has different functions. It plays FM radio. It has Bluetooth. You have 2 speaker zones. 1 is inside, 2 is outside. So it does a lot. So this trailer will convert power, meaning it'll convert AC to DC. It does that right here. So when you're plugged in, it'll take AC power right here, 110 AC. You have regular circuit breakers here like you see at home, and they're labeled. Then it converts it to 12 volt DC over here. So you got 12 volt fuses here. It also is a battery tender, so it'll sense how much energy your battery up front needs, and as long as you're plugged in, it'll always keep it charged. Okay, that's power conversion. This also inverts power, which is just the opposite. It'll take the 12 volts from your battery, 12 volt DC, and turn it into 110 AC, invert it to 110 AC. So your plugs will be inverted. So if you want to plug let's say you're out in the middle of nowhere and you're running off a solar panel and batteries, for example, you can plug in an appliance like a blender or a hair dryer or any AC appliance. You can plug it in and then turn it on right there, and you can actually run it off your 12 volt battery. Okay, so that's inversion. So it does that also. To shut it off, you hold it for a few seconds and just take your finger off of it. Okay. So keep that in mind. This is also a GFCI plug. There's probably 2 of them in this trailer, just so you know. Everything's wired through a GFCI, even the one on the outside. So now if we come this way, still talking about power now. We come in here. This is your solar controller for your solar panel. So he's still got it set to an AGM battery, so I'm going to fix that right now. Let's see if I can get it to behave. There we go. So I switched it to wet, which is what it should be. Okay, so now you don't have to change that. That was just not done when it was prepped. So you have 13.1 volts in your battery. That's great. So 13.1 in the system. The only button you're going to have to push now is the one in the upper right hand corner here. That's where you select the different readings. So next one, because it's a cloudy day, you're gaining just 0.8 amps from the sun. So 0.8 amps are being taken from sunlight and turned into electricity, and 0.8 amps are being stored in your battery. It'll go up, 5, 7.5, depending on what time of day it is, the position of the sun, the weather conditions, all that, So all this does is the solar controller is telling you right now how much amperage you're gaining from the sun, okay? Push it again. You got 2.1 amp hours, but you can see it's not totally charged yet. You still got another level to go up to be totally charged. That'll increase dramatically. Back to 13.2. Now, if this ever flashes FUL and the buttons won't respond, it's not broke. It's telling you that it shut the solar panel down because there's no room for storage in the battery anymore. So, if once the energy level of the battery drops, it'll go back to this normal screen. So anytime it says FUL and flashes, it just shut down because there's nowhere to store the power. So 13.2, another click is 0.9 amps. That's what you're gaining from the sun, and that's your amp hours. Back to 13.2. So, and this also tells you how charged it is. You got one more level to go to get it totally charged. Okay. That's the solar controller. So we talked about the solar controller, which takes the sunlight and turns it into 12 volt DC, right? We've talked about the power converter here, which converts AC to DC. So it takes regular household current and turns it into DC power. It also charges your battery. Then over here we have the inverter, which inversion is the opposite of conversion. So it's taking 12 volt DC and turning it into 110 AC to run a small appliance. Okay? Alrighty. So, back into the bathroom. These are your tank heaters. So each tank, your fresh water, your gray, and your black have a heating pad on them. So you can turn them on, and you can extend your camping season by turning on the heater, and they won't freeze up as fast. So you just extend your camping season. Okay. Now I told you there's a water pump to pump water out of the fresh water tank. If you don't have city water and you're boondocking, you turn that on right there. You also use this pump to winterize the trailer. The water heater on gas is right here. There's your fault light. Remember, I showed you there's a switch in the lower left-hand corner on the outside which controls the heating element, the electric heating element. This one here controls the burner. All right, and then you have your levels. Your battery's charged. Fresh has got water in it because we're prepping. Black and gray, they graduate up at 1/3 increments. Okay. So that's where your water is monitored. Now one more thing in here. This device here is a shower miser. So what it is, it's an eco device. It basically saves water. What it does is it circulates water through the lines from here back around through the water heater, through the water pump, and it goes around and around and around. The reason you want to do that is when you're heating up your water, normally you'll just be sending good water down the drain, you know, just while it gets hot. So to keep from doing that, it circulates it in a loop. And when it gets hot, instead of before it gets hot, instead of wasting perfectly good fresh water and sending the rest down and taking up space in your gray tank, it'll heat it up in the loop, and then this will turn into a dramatic color like a beige color. You'll see it plain as day. Then you know the water's hot, and you'll put it into regular shower mode. So you're just not wasting water when you're heating it up. So it's just a water recirculating system, I'm sorry. I don't know what recirculating is, but it sounds good. But okay, always travel when you're traveling. This has a magnetic strip in it, but when you're traveling, always do this so that the doors don't bang together and break. It'll happen. It does happen sometimes if you don't do that. Okay, so that's that. Your refrigerator is a DC compressor refrigerator. So you have on and off here, you have your temperature here, and then you have 3 modes. Night mode uses less energy than daytime mode, for example. So just a way to save energy, but this runs off 12 volt DC. Okay. Your thermostat works like any other thermostat. You hit it once to light it up, and then you keep poking it till you cycle through all the options. All right. Let's see here. Your table, you flip it upside down, and there's some straps here, and it straps right to the couch so it doesn't bounce around. You also bring it up, there's a yellow plastic knob on it that you put to the right to lock it in place or unlock it so you can drop it down. And it stores flipped over on the couch. Okay, this is a jackknife couch, so it'll jackknife flat and turn into a bed, so you've got more sleeping area. This is, of course, your emergency window here. You have a Murphy bed. Now when you pick up, you can look over the Murphy bed, but basically what you do, this is another jackknife sofa, so you're going to jackknife it flat, then you're going to undo that latch right there, and you're just going to fold it down and fold the mattress down. It's a great thing because during the day you've got valuable comfortable seating area, and then at night you reclaim it for the bed. So it's the best of both worlds in that sense. So you can definitely we'll put that down for you when you pick up so you can look at it. Let's see what else we have here that you should know. Back here, this folds out. It also locks into place, so keep that in mind. Let's see what else. I think we pretty much got it. This is your carbon monoxide LP gas detector. So it should always be green like it is. If it's not green, get it serviced. If it goes off, you take everybody outside, you shut the appliances off, leave the door open, shut the gas off at the front, and figure out what's going on, okay? That detects carbon monoxide buildup and LP gas. Alright. And I think that pretty much does it. So if you have more questions when you pick up, we'll answer them for you. This is just kind of a reference video to look back on. So, okay. I want to thank you for purchasing your trailer here at National RV Detroit. Please remember to inspect your roof every 60 days, a couple times a summer. You want to look for crack interseparation, like I said, or any kind of damage. You're just staying ahead of any potential problems. Odds are you won't have to do anything, but if you do see an issue, take care of it immediately. It's very important. It's protecting your investment. It'll always be bone dry if you keep after it. So make sure you do that as part of your regular maintenance. Right now, the antifreeze has been purged from the system and replaced with fresh water. Your water heater valves are in camping mode, and the water heater is full. The tank is full of water, so you're in good shape there. Never run it without water in it, of course. Okay? All right. Thank you very much.